Hello everyone. So I'm life coach and healer Ekta Nahar. Our today's guest is women's holistic divine life coach and children well-being educator Rajalaxmi Chandran. So Rajalaxmi, I would love for you to introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you. Yes, hello everyone. Welcome. So, yeah, my name is Rajalakshmi. I'm the founder of Rainbow Holistic Foundation, and I'm a woman um, divine life, I like to call it, divine life coach and a children's well-being educator. By profession, I'm a software developer. I live in New Zealand with my family, and but I'm very passionate about also uplifting women and children of all ages and background, and that is why I chose also this path of being a coach and educator for the holistic well-being of a divine soul is how I look at everyone. Yeah, thank you,
I
Ekta.
love when you use the word divine, divine children, divine life coach. It is really amazing. So, I have a question. What does living a divine life mean to you?
uh, it's all about the attitude. We are all humans, and we're always saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but there is one important thing, is that human being, and it's that being part. Like, how are we doing it with joy? That is how I love to look at life, not just ordinary, but it has to have that extraordinary magic in it, and it all comes to our attitude. So when I look at life, there are many layers, and one, I do a lot of self development. I have been doing it for the past many years. Just working on my inner self, reading lots of books, going through courses. But the main thing is, after learning, is to implement it, and then there is that always that feeling of wanting to share it to others, so they can also learn, they can implement, they can see the effects of the joy. So as a result, one course that I was learning about is like the pancha kosha, that you may know of, and I learned it for early childhood from a wonderful foundation they called Anadi. And while I was going through that process of learning it, I started to understand it more from a also woman's perspective, like the different roles that a woman plays and how we can layer it in our life. So it's got five layers. Like, it's got the Annamaya Kosha, which is about our physical health, our physical well-being, and yes, do all the good exercise, yoga, dance. So it's all about our body. How do we look after it? And then what do we eat? And the way we eat, and the way we cook food. So it's not everything's hurry. It doesn't have to be like that. But how are we eating? How are we cooking? How are we buying things? So all that is about the physical well-being. And then there's that, pranamaya kosha, about the energy. Again, if we're always rushing in life, then it's always the energy, the breath, everything is so fast. But then if it's a divine life, then it's more at balance, harmony, peace. Those are the words that come to my mind. So pranamaya, it's about our breath. How do we keep our home? So as a our as a woman, like, how do we keep our space? So that's what we talk about in our life coaching for women and for children. How do they keep their things? How is our mental space? How is the digital world? We are all in this, we have our own avatars in this digital world. How authentic is it? So that's about the prana. And then the next one is the manomaya, which is our mental well-being, our sleep, where again, a divine life, the sleep is very restorative. It's well balanced. When you get up, you're like, wow, I slept so well. Yes, again, there are so many roles we play, and maybe the sleep is like split out. Maybe that's the current phase of our life. Like, I have a baby right now, and it's a night feeding, lots of things are happening. But still, when I get up, I feel it's a divine life. I'm ready to restart my day. That's how I feel. And in that also comes our routines, like, how is our morning and evening routines? How is our relationships? So once we are strong, this is one analogy I love to give to my um, whoever comes. Like, it's about you and me, both of you are looking at the same tree, and I might be looking at the small bird on the tree, and you might be looking at the big branches of the tree. both of us are correct only. It's a perspective. It's called awareness. So once we have awareness, then our life is again a divine life. Um, with intentions, when we're doing things, then it's more joyful. So our relationships, once we are strong, then we're ready to give to others. We don't need to expect anything from anyone, though. We're always ready to look after others, because the first thing is we've looked after ourselves. Then the fourth layer is about the intellectual well-being, the jnanamaya. It's all about what are we learning as lifelong learners. And then once we learn, what are we implementing? What are we sharing to the community, to the world? And it's a cycle. Like, you should learn, you should implement, you should share. If any one is not happening, it's not balanced. If you're not learning, then it's all the old ways of living life, which is not fun also sometimes. And then if we're just learning and sharing, then it's like a forward message, and that's so much already happening. We don't need to be part of that. And if you're just learning, implement, learning, only you learn, you implement, it's all about you only. Then again, when we don't share to the world, if we're like, oh, who will listen to me, if we are like that, then again there's no joy, because this world is like a family. And that's why I like to say divine sisters in the communities, because that's how we are. So, and then the last, but the most important, is the Anandamaya Kosha, which is your spiritual essence, your bliss. And that is what makes that whole thing a divine life, and not just a ordinary life of getting up, going to work, looking after family. It doesn't have to be like that, because we are always in bliss. So that's what makes it that's why it's a divine life, I feel. Yeah.
Wow, great. So, what was the turning point of your life, or when you started learning this?
I would be very I'm very grateful for my childhood upbringing. It was a very spiritual environment, like having human value systems. I was brought up in Zambia, so it's a very multicultural environment where we respect all cultures. It was, and it's very spiritual. So that is what is. It's always been there. The childhood, once those seeds have always been inside of me. Um, and then growing up, when you look at family members, grandparents, their life, their lessons that they teach us, so I feel very 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 grateful that today, I don't think it's one point of time, but yes, when after university, when you know enter the I came to New Zealand after university. At that time there was that, okay, we have to prove ourselves, we have to work really hard. The Raji that is at home and the Raji that is at work, it didn't feel the same person. Very hardworking, yes, but still there were things missing. And then when slowly getting back to the what did we do in our childhood that gave us so much happiness? Yoga, meditation. And I feel very grateful. The university I studied in was like from Mata Amritananda. So it's again another spiritual university. So all that still is there. Those seeds were there, yet to be flourishing more. So I would say, so there was a lack of awareness during those initial stages of our career growth. But once realizing, doing journaling, this was something from childhood that my mom passed on to me. So that really, like goal setting, all those small things, they brought me back again to having a more meaningful life. And now I can just be one version of me, just grow myself authentically. I always feel all the divinity is already there, like the sun.
Yes,
It's just the clouds are covering us up. So it takes effort. It takes a lot of conscious effort, I feel. um, but it's a very nice place to be there with that awareness.
yes. So, what are the small daily practices, that help you to reconnect with your inner divine higher self?
Yes, so for me, the morning routine and my night routine is so precious. I try not to give it away. um, so when I get up in the morning, even though my baby, maybe she's sleeping in the hammock and I have to rock the hammock, or it's okay, that this is the right now, the current phase I am in. I used to do like 40 minutes of yoga, longer periods of meditation. Right now, it's not that long, but it's still there, like 10 minutes of some sort of physical activity, yoga. Uh, it's nice to mix it around, like cardio, pilates, um, dance, yoga. So, a mix of some sort of physical activity. And then after, so there's actually a structure to it. First, we take care of the body, doing some physical yoga, and after the body is sort of, after you get up and it's all a little bit of energy has reignited, then to do some sort of breath work. So I like to do pranayama. Again, I just watch some nice YouTube videos, and just do as a guided practice. And some days, there are days when I don't watch anything and I just focus on what I already know. So it's both ways. But I'll be very mindful when I touch the phone. I know exactly which button I'm going to press. I'm not scrolling anything. So I'm quite mindful with the way I use technology. And then, so after my breath is in sync, then I will do some mantra chanting. Again, these are all positive words. So 108, those special numbers, some
Yeah.
beautiful mantra chanting. And once my thoughts, words, everything is aligned, then I do definitely spiritual studies. Again, I know exactly which playlist to go. So if it's Bhagavad Gita, then for the a verse from it and understand the meaning. Or BK Shivani sister, she's my one of my favorite
Yeah.
persons. There will
Yeah.
be, that's just pure beautiful wisdom she will give us. So I will do some sort of spiritual study like that. um, and then I'll do a small meditation based on what I studied. Okay, what do I need to improve on? um, where am I lacking? And then, so once all this is done, I'll do journaling. This is where I like to write goals for every 2 weeks on all the layers. And once I've written for me, I'll do the same for my divine daughters. I'll write goals for them. One is a toddler, one's a baby. I'll write all the goals that I think is important for their development phases, in their learning, everything. So for 2 weeks, I'll write it all. And every day, I'll just use my phone to put it as a reminder, like, okay, today this is important, this is not important, and just schedule it with my phone. But I'll write it in paper for 2 weeks. So once I've done all this, then I'm like clear in my mind. Okay, this is all I need to focus on today. And when my toddler gets up, I'll do the same thing with her in a more child friendly way. Like, we'll do some yoga stretches, we'll do just a quiet time, let's sit down, prayer time, shloka time, um, and then, having a nutrition breakfast, goals, habits. She's got posters. We'll just go through. We'll say what's coming up today, like that. So it's just natural. So it's nothing that in the future it's going to be, oh, what is this? What is yoga and meditation or not? No, it's already part of her lifestyle. So it's a very nice way to role model. In the night before sleep, again, gratitude, so important. So that would be my night self care, is gratitude, um, letting go. And so those beautiful things of just letting the whole day go. There are two concepts in spirituality I love to try to work on, is karma yoga, which is like whatever we do is an offering to a higher purpose. And the other one is like prasada buddhi. This is another one, which is, okay, whatever's coming to us is like, it's a blessing. Whether it's a challenge, again, challenges are way to make us grow even more, accelerate our growth. So it's a blessing. Again, it takes time to accept it all. But every day, if I'm working on, every day I feel there's a green button I get a chance to press when I get up, to reset everything that happened yesterday, learn from the lessons from the past, and then, okay, today let's move forward with more joy. So setting those intentions is very important for me. Yeah.
Amazing. So, for a beginner, what belief do they need to release, to tap into that higher power or to start taking small steps? And what practical step would you like to suggest,
Mm,
especially to mothers, right?
yeah. So I would say, before putting on this, the role, the hat of a mother, just just to nurture yourself, your soul. um, Even when you go on an aeroplane, they will say, first put on your mask.
Yeah.
No, even if you have the most tiniest of baby, we can't do anything without we putting on our mask. oxygen mask. Same, these tiny self-care, um, it doesn't have to be, it's not at all about time. It's not like I don't have time or I have time, I have 10 minutes or 10 hours. It's not about the time. It's there is that concept of energy management. Energy flows where attention goes, right? So that's what I like to work on, energy management rather than time management. So that small step of first, okay, look after myself. What does it mean? What are the things that give me joy, that fills my cup up? Whatever it is, just go out in mother nature and take a fresh deep breath, walking. That's all very soul filling. So once our cup is full, then we are ready to give. Now this concept of self care, it doesn't mean we have to go all isolated, all on by ourselves. That is not actually what self care actually has to be in a family life. We can take family along with us if you're ready. Okay, part of our practice, if we're going for a mother nature walk, I like to go with my daughters. We just go around the block, and I just talk very descriptively about mother nature. Wow, look at that blue sky, look at the, they love to listen to all these. And then it becomes part of their vocabulary, how we speak, the positive affirmations. um, you are strong, you are brave, all that. But those, they don't have to be just words, they are feelings. They are feelings like, um, kindness, like you are kind. But sometimes even a
Yes.
child might not know what is kind. So at that time, when we tell them, wow, you did this for me, thank you so much, you gave me a glass of water, whenever I cough, my daughter will say, drink water. So it's a very nice, kind, empathetic view she has. So wow, you're very empathetic, you're very kind, like that. So these are small, these are the quality times that we have in our life. um, Again, it doesn't have to be all alone, I'm doing yoga. No, I take a kids yoga book and then together we'll read and do. So I'm still get physically, I'm getting stronger, and the family is also getting physically stronger. So this is how I add self care. So when you want to start your practice, whatever you used to do that gave you joy, you can still do with the family. um, and whenever, of course, have that small me time, all the time where you're completely, there's silence in your life, because that will also help you to think what's your mind thinking, journaling, writing. So nowadays I have to do more digital typing out in my phone, but it's still very clear, when even if it's digital typing, paper, pen, whatever is suitable. So so what are you, so for a beginner, whatever you used to do that give you joy, do it again with the family. Lot of gratitudes. One thing is, oh, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing enough. If we have that attitude, one thing is just to write down 10 points. I did this for 1 year, of just writing down all the quality times I've had in my day. 10 points. I looked at mother nature sunset, I saw the honeybee. That's it. When you write all that, your lens of your, that inner eye is like completely, shifted. So whatever we're complaining about, definitely there is a solution. When we complain, the mind is closed, we're not able to think creatively. So first thing is to keep the mind open, and for that, gratitude, positive affirmation, all this keeps our mind open, journaling. And when it's open, then creative ideas, everything is within us, it will definitely flow out. Yes, dear.
Great. So I truly believe this, connecting with our own self is the most important thing. Then only we can give it to others, to our family and children, right?
Yes.
So yeah, and I also believe that, our outer world is reflection of inner world. As you said, thoughts are very important, right? So we need to believe that, okay, we are enough and we are complete. So, as a mother, I believe that, children are our mirror only. Whatever we do in front of them, they will, just role model that only. So, what is your view on this? How can we, include more good habits in their life and also reduce the screen time? This is concern of many mothers.
Okay. So yes, you're right that they're our, like a mirror. So I find the most easiest way of doing parenting is role modeling. I don't need to worry about them at all. If I am doing my duty, the way I am living, if I just focus on this and make it optimal, they're just going to learn. And it's so easy and fun. This is the way I follow, like role modeling, how am I speaking? What am I eating? So we do a lot of meal planning at our home. So I just look at the plan of our meals. Is it nutrition? Is it balanced? That's it. And then whatever I eat, they eat. So it's very easy. If I'm reading a book, then they will also come with their book or whatever, and they will read. If I'm doing my journaling, like I said, I do journaling for myself and for my divine daughters. Then while I'm writing their goals or habits, then I'm talking to them. I'm saying, hey, we'll do this, we'll do that. And then one day they are going to write it in that same book. So this is fun. When you are with them and playing along with them, then of course every development phases, like when my daughter is a toddler, yes, that word tantrum I don't like to use, but it is there. That emotional rise is there in her energy. But most of the time, if I'm patient and if I'm understanding why is she feeling like that, she has seen maybe at school a behavior and she's trying to replicate that behavior here. So if I am able to just be present with her, then we are able it is a storm, but we are able to with good boundaries, we are able to overcome it, and out of it she will learn a life lesson. So this other thing about screen time, so I'm a, as I said, a software developer, digital technology educator. So it is very important to be mindful of the screen, but it's not something that you can completely neglect out of their life. Instead, you can show them, like, to use it as a tool, like a scissor, like that is how important, and with respect. Like, okay, it's uh, and it's also preferred that they use a bigger screen, like a laptop, so they know, okay, it's like a book study time. My daughter is going for online classes for shloka classes, and whole brain acceleration classes, few minutes in a week. But I'm very mindful, like, okay, now it's this class, and keep everything ready for her. So it's like as if she's entering like a very, like educational environment. So there is the joy of learning, and there is hands on, like a little bit of screen where they give the she sees the content, and then physically we will talk about it like in the real world also. So there is that bridge between the virtual world and the real world through our feelings, our human connection. So there's no passive learning at all, it's all active learning with the teachers. So it is good to use or make use of these kind of online platforms, so that we're sort of like in this world school. That's how I've started to see it, this concept about world school, that you can bring in more different teachers and subjects into the child's life, and the child interacts with other children from around the world. So there is so many beautiful ways of using screens. We shouldn't be afraid of using screens or limiting screens. If you use the device properly, then it's a benefit and a boon to the child's education system.
Yes.
um, yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for this wonderful answer.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, thank you so much for this amazing live. Anything else you want to share? Any one of your favorite, quote or something you want to share to the viewers?
I guess from my spiritual guru, one thing that I always keep in mind is that um, whatever we do, we have a choice of the choice is ours, that we can be very courageous, very happy, um, that whatever we do, we can do it with a full heart. The choice is within us, so we choose which way are we going to do. So that is one thing I always like to remember and try to practice. Yes.
Wow, this is so amazing. Every day is a new day. We need to choose what we want to do of this. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.